blaming the fan. The fan had to be at fault. That time has passed. The fact that people still believe these athletes is embarrassing. All of these events point to lies. When in doubt, race about. But I am not for, well, we got to protect these poor players. Protected from what? Episode is brought to you by our good friends at Prize Picks. I don't care where you are, get in there and play Prize Picks. All right, Cam Newton and others are, of course, blaming the fan. The fan had to be at fault, which he was. Look, DK Metcalf does not go into the crowd and punch a fan unless the fan is yelling, screaming, and being a pain in the ass. That used to be the way it is. Now, led by the little fellas in the NBA, if a fan says, boo, I'm sad, I want him out, he's bad. And then, of course, everybody shifts it to racism. You know that's coming. As soon as I saw who DK Metcalf punched, and it was a white dude, I knew that the excuse was going to be, he said that word. He had to have. Of course he didn't. We've heard from years and years and years all of these lies. If you believe a professional athlete and the professional idiots on TV who somehow, some way get paid to protect these idiots that play sports, you know race was coming into it. You know that word was coming into it. And frankly, I'll get into Bobby Barack's tweet here in a minute, but none of us, and I mean none of us, should ever believe an athlete or a pundit when they tell us that the reason they punched a fan was because he said that word. If you believe that, then it's the proverbial, I've got swampland in Indiana to sell you, and the swampland is good. We all know, and again, I'll get into it here in a minute with Bobby's tweets, but let's set the stage, shall we? Here's DK Metcalf attacking a fan. Here's DK Metcalf grabbing a fan and having at the fan, which cost him a ton of money. Here you go. Okay, there you go, DK, because I'm a football player. Nobody's allowed to say anything to me. I do believe this, though, because I'm a bit hypocritical here. I do believe that the world is not as good a place because nobody fears a good old-fashioned ass kicking. No, used to be you feared a good old-fashioned punch in the face. A punch in the face straightens everything out. You're going to say this to me, I'm going to punch you in the face, the stomach, the arm, wherever, anywhere but the stocoles. No punching in the package. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Do not package punch. Unless, of course, you're just messing around with your boys on a beautiful Saturday evening. Anyway, Cam Newton, he of the stolen laptops. He of the dumbass hat. He had things to say because, well, it wouldn't be a day if we didn't get to hear from that great orator, the great righter of all wrongs, Cam Newton.
Go ahead, Cam.
I've been in those shoes. Mm-hmm. I am in those shoes. Everywhere, every time that I walk. Now, there's a line that's drawn. My rule is this. If I see Courtney, if I see Damien, if I see, Dan at the grocery store, corner store, regular life, I can, kind of shove and be jovial and, hey, what about this? Oh, I thought you said that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But a line is drawn from the humanistic side that you can't say that. Do I know what happened? Do I know what took place for DK to react how he did? No. But I have always stood on this principle, no matter the league. You can go to MLB, you can go to NBA, you can go to WNBA, you can go to the NFL. I think we need to bolster the protection because fans are able to do whatever and just fall back on the thought of this is fandom. You can't talk to me like that, bro. I don't care if we're for the last drive of the game. It's their job to distract and to disrupt. That's why the 12th man is so active. Sure. That's why playing in hostile environments, you have edges. But what I'm not going to say is to defend DK Metcalf or to now say something about a fan that I don't know. I think as leagues, we do need and we owe a responsibility so that these will not happen moving forward. We've seen it happen numerous times over the last couple of years in any type of league. But you have a guy or a gal who's a contractor. We typically see them with the yellow shirts. What power do they really have?
Right.
And I'm not sitting up here saying you put a K9 and you put a person in there, you know, in the car. No. But what I am saying is we need to have proper fan protocol. And it should not lead to this for us to take it serious. Certain things should be happening, and the players need to be protected.
Protected from what exactly? I mean, just think about it for a second. Protected from what? Words? Really? I mean, protected from words. We need to be protected from words. Dude, you have no idea. I walk around every day. I get this. What am I going to do? Fight everybody? I do think, though, the world needs a punch in the face. There needs to be judges out there that say, look, what'd you do? I called him, blah, 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 blah. You got punched in the face, move along, get out of my court. I do think that. But we need players protected from words. That's what we need. I mean, we're so soft now that words from a guy sitting up in the stands, we need to be, quote, protected from. That's where we're at. All right. And he actually spoke gibberish right there. There's nothing he said that made logical sense. Nothing. He just talked. It was his time on TV to talk. Let me explain something to players. Players, you ain't all that. You get paid a lot of money. You get paid a lot of money to perform in front of people. And when you perform in front of people or when you walk among people, they're going to say dumbass things. And in our current society where there is none, including a punch in the face, nothing you can do about it, you just take it, period. And think to yourself, what a dumbass. I'm not exactly the poster child for it because I go back at people on Twitter. But I'm also not a guy playing down there. I got 75 cents, I told you before, thrown at me on the court at Purdue. I got called all kind of names in high school. What are you going to do? Punch everyone? I laughed. I have a story. I always have a story. Playing Highland High School. Beat them. Massive game. Places jam-packed. Scouts everywhere. After the game, they put a rope around the court. Hot girl comes up to me. Hey, Dan. I'm like, yeah, here we go. I just dropped 30-some, and I'm the man in Northwest Indiana. I walk up to hot girl. Yo, baby, what's up? No, I didn't. I go, hey, how you doing? Because I'm a dork. She goes, you're the worst mother. I'm like, whoa, wow. I was 17 years old. Could you imagine how much mommies and daddies would be crying? I went in the locker room. My buddy, the big Schwantz, we called him, Danny Hanlon, since passed, said, hey, man, what that hot girl want? I said, Schwantz, she called me a no-good mother blanker. Really? Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen tonight for me and hot girl. So what? We got to be protected? What's wrong with you? Protected. Oh, shut up. Hey, I'm all for a punch in the face, though, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite here. Here's the normal BS. You ready for it? You ready? Here it comes. A source close to Metcalf. Yeah, really? Oh, okay. A source close to Metcalf says the fan who identified himself to the Free Press as Ryan Kennedy called Metcalf's mom a derogatory word and called Metcalf something we both know you don't call a black man. All right, really? If you're buying that, I got swampland in Florida. The fan claims Metcalf was upset about being called his full legal name. Here's the fan. Ryan Kennedy, the Lions fan involved in the altercation with DK Metcalf, categorically denies using the N-word, the C-word, or any racial, misogynist, or hate-based language during the incident. Well, guess what? The incident was has caught fire on the internet, and as usual, the reactions don't disappoint. Here's one. Oh, wait, here you go. Yeah, there you go. Ryan, let me go back to Schefter's here. I got this screwed up. Ryan Kennedy a Lions fan involved in the altercation, categorically denies, and he has, well, he's got a Michigan law firm. Here it is. Let's keep it going. The incident has drawn many people's reaction, including a video that shows clearly he did not. Here you go. Me, if I'm the fan, DK Metcalf punch. That's right. DK, your salary coming to me, baby. The Steelers got rid of George Pickens, and now DK Metcalf is punching fans in the face. Pittsburgh's history of crash-out receivers has to be studied. And boy, is that different than what it used to be with John Stallworth and Lynn Swann, two of the best dudes ever. But Bobby Barack chimed in. No one made monkey noises at Angel Reese. No one called her teammates ghetto bitches. No noose in Bubba Wallace's garage. I don't know what Dinger, BYU, Duke, Lacrosse, Myles Garrett. No N-word on LeBron's gate. The fact that people still believe these athletes is embarrassing. He's absolutely right. That time has passed. The time for the athlete to say, racism, he said it's passed. We're done with it all. All of these events point to lies. When in doubt, race about. And frankly, I've had it. I mean, just admit, the dude, and it's on video, called you by your legally given name, and you acted like a little bitch. Although I support it. Weird, huh? You support him acting like a little bitch. When it comes to punching somebody in the face that's sitting there being a pain in the ass, I do. But don't tell me players need to be protected. Stop it. Just stop it. They're big. They're strong. In fact, I think our friend Ryan Clark said, well, if people are going to be nasty, I don't even want to be there. See, I'm different. If people are going to be nasty, I absolutely want to be there. Another story. Walking out of a Louisville game down the street. I'm walking with my producer, my director, my wife, and a friend. And guys are heckling me. Finally, I had enough. Finally, I just said, all right, now I'm going to kick your ass. In the middle of the street, seriously. I never saw my boy Scott Johnson, Bart Fox, and my wife usher me into some little bar so fast. They're like, I go, they go, we understand. Hell, I had a lady, Destiny Wells, who runs for governor, runs for attorney general, runs for prosecutor, runs for everything in Indianapolis. I walk out of a Pacer game, and she starts screaming at me, you called me abortion queen, screaming. And I look at her, and I told my friend, hey, videotape this, will you? Because she's going to lie. She kept yelling. What? It happens. The world moves along. I ain't need to be protected. I'll be at the Rose Bowl, and half of Indiana fans hate me. I'll be all right. Maybe you got to punch one early to set the stage. No, you don't, but you should. I am a hypocrite because I am all for the loudmouth douchebag fan getting punched. But I am not for, well, we got to protect these poor players. Shut up. Just shut up and catch footballs. Ah. Hey, DraftKings, this episode is brought. Wait, let me back up. Sean, where are you at? You're young. I'm old. Sean, where are you at with DK Metcalf needing to be protected and the punch in the face is a deterrent? Where are you at?
I'm always siding with the players against the fans, always. And I love the fans. Nothing better in sports than good fans, ever. You want to go out there and play for them. You want to love the fans. You want to build a connection with the fans. But the second that a fan starts getting disrespectful for you, starts getting disrespectful to a player, go ahead, yank them by the collar out of the stands. I'm all for it. I liked it when Jalen Ramsey got in the stands and checked that dude in LA. I like it. All right, these people are getting way too comfortable. They were comfortable with me and my tiny school in college. Every other game was like the most vile, disrespectful things you could hear. But at the same time, we didn't fight the fans every game. Every now and then, they really cross a line where you want to go out there and beat the hell out of some fans. But for the most part, it's just general disrespect, and you're going to have to be a man and walk with it. I expect a little more for DK Metcalf this late in his career. He's a vet now, Dan. You don't go yanking him out of the stands this late in your career.
Well, you're right. We're all right. Everyone's right. But the most right thing about it is the representation of the upstairs pub, America's college bar, which will be hopping, which will be rocking, which will be rolling come New Year's Day. I don't even know if they're open New Year's Day, but people will probably show up at the upstairs pub, wear their Indiana hat, right in the middle of Kirkwood on Bloomington. And you know what? Hey, Alabama shows up, we might be duking. We might be throwing hands. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's a holiday season. It's the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchup. Today's an unbelievable day. Today's an unbelievable day for all this. Playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there's only one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. I'm going to give you mine. I'm on fire. It's a new feature. Prize Picks has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Prize Picks. It's simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. Get your picks right. Cash in. I'm going more today. Here's my picks. I'm going more. 227.5 yards. It's Bo Nix, Denver, at Kansas City. They may not even have to try. Seems like Kansas City has quit. And then Justin Herbert. I know it's Herbert, but I like Herbert better. Anyway, more than 219. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code DAKICH. After you play your first $5 lineup, you get $50 in lineups. What can I tell you? That's code Dakich to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Really good. Ding, 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 ding. For the first time since Sid Luckman, who was, well, literally my grandfather's ilk, not my father, my grandfather's ilk. The Bears have a quarterback. Caleb Williams is good, man. Looks like a new man under the tutelage of Ben Johnson. Windy City is buzzing, and it should be, because after a long, long trial, that included the greats, Jack Concannon, Mike Phipps, Bob Avellini, Gary Huff. What are you talking about? Jay Cutler, who I liked. I did like Jay Cutler. What are you talking about? Did I mention Bobby Douglas, the first quarterback to run for 1,000 yards? Oh, I think I did. Anyway, the Bears have been trying. Sexy Rexy Grossman, whose dad did the first RKO, that's that eye surgery in the United States in Bloomington, Indiana, on my ex-wife. That's right. Bears quarterbacks are close to my heart. Some guy named Baguette. I don't know. There's a bunch of dudes that played quarterback, and they all suck, except for Rex Grossman did not. He went to a Super Bowl. Do not at me. Anyway, we love us some Caleb Williams. He's an unproven talent to many NFL fans who wonder, according to Alejandro Avila from Outkick, who wonder if Chicago has finally bucked its trend of failing to pick quarterbacks. While the stats aren't spectacular in his second year, his natural ability as a scrambler, his moxie, yes. His rocket arm, yes. Preach, Alejandro. Have the Windy City faithful happy. They picked him first overall in 2024. His 6th comeback win of the season Saturday, Caleb tied Peyton Manning. I guarantee you, Peyton is charging Caleb Williams to be named in the same sentence as him. Charging him money. Fourth quarter comebacks in the season by a player under 25. I get it. That's reaching for a stat. But guess what? Alejandro, he dug it up, and I ain't mad at it. Here is Caleb Williams on his 46-yard game-winning touchdown pass to DJ Moore. I knew it was good. We got that belief. You got that confidence. We got that swagger as an offense. You practice well. You hit plays like that in practice. Pretty identical to practice. When a play gets called, the moment comes up like that, it's time to go hit it. Time to go win the damn game. Excuse me. Here's a picture of Caleb Williams handing out gifts, meals in Chicago, wearing a cheese grater hat. I love it. A little personality. We haven't seen it since the funky QB. That's right. And I'm not talking about Vince Evans, who famously got the hell beat out of him, allegedly, by Reeve Sorey, one of the linemen for the Bears, for his wife. Anyway, Caleb Williams handing out meals in Chicago. Look at this. Wearing a cheese grater hat, a man of the people. I love it. I do. Yeah. Here's Caleb Williams and the legend Pete Crow Armstrong of the Chicago Cubs at a charity food drive. That's right. Now Caleb is with PCA at a food drive. That's what you do as a Chicago athlete with your free time. Chicagoans for life. Love them both. Yeah. Except it's going to be, they're going to have to do it down in Hammond in a few years. That's right. I said it. I meant it. Anyway, here's the Bears under Ben Johnson, year one. Wow, this is pretty good. First year, 2 games left. 11 wins, top 10 offense, number 1 takeaway defense. That's the Bears. Caleb Williams, huge progression, top 5 offensive line, top in the NFC North, most important, a playoff berth. Give this guy Coach of the Year already. Yeah. Coach of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, is interesting. Earlier, a lot of people were saying Shane Steichen, Coach of the Year. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Phillip Rivers, you looked good last night until it all went apart. There's nothing I can do. Lou Amaretto Stone Sour, the defensive coordinator of the Bears, of the Colts, he sucks. And we've all seen why Lou Amaretto Stone Sour was let go by the Cincinnati Bengals. Lou Amaretto Stone Sour came to Indy. Defense looked better, couldn't look worse. Colts got off to an 8-2 start, and I said on my show, looking at the schedule and the injuries, 8-2 can become 8-7 real quick. Real quick. I don't know whose fault it is. I'll say injuries are at fault. But damn, that defense can't guard me. And I ain't very good. All right. Let's go to North Carolina, shall we? North Carolina Foots, the home of the 25-year-old. She got to be 25 by now. It feels like she's been 24 for like 10 years. Isn't she 25 by now? North Carolina didn't receive enough public shaming this year, so they decided to make a splash hire. Their offensive coordinator job is open. Hey, who can we get? Let's get the motorcycle riding Bobby Petrino. He's going to be joining Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, Mike Lombardi in Chapel Hill. Yeah, here we go. On3 Sports has it. Here it is. Bobby Petrino has agreed to become the new North Carolina offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. Yeah, everybody's reporting. Everybody's reporting it. This is on the heels of Belichick going 0-7 as an interim head coach for Arkansas this year after stepping in for Sam Pittman. UNC obviously didn't feel the noise this year. They don't care. Who else would you try and add? Should they go after Hugh Freeze? Sharon Moore? What's Mel Tucker doing these days? Get Mel Tucker Never mind. Anyway, they're looking for work. They took the state of Michigan by storm, Mel Tucker and Sharon Moore. Didn't work out for anybody. Is it fair for us to expect this to go poorly? I feel like from a football perspective, Petrino, who has shown himself to be a damn good coach, the 0-7 notwithstanding, but with the amount of distractions surrounding the program, it's hard to justify. I think Belichick is going to turn out to be a good hire. I didn't say great hire. I think he's going to turn out basically to be Mac Brown. And Petrino probably helps in certain ways, I guess. Look, let's be honest. No longer is it. Well, it's a little bit, but not nearly like it was. The coach, the coordinator going into a prospect's home and talking to mom and dad and Miss Terry serving pie or whatever the bullshit that Nick Saban tries to sell us on as fat-ass car dealers are going and buying players left and right. But I digress. All right, here's the deal. Now it's about money. And Bobby Petrino and Bill Belichick will be successful. It's not like they don't know how to coach football as long as they got enough money to get the best players. I think we can all agree you ain't winning in college football unless you got the best players. And I'm not talking about five-star guys. Hell, my guy Signetti proved you can just get the best players for you. Hey, oh, by the way, this is neat. Bill Belichick, and it's got to be 25. I'm saying 25. I don't know. She has to be at this point. Anyway, his 25-year-old girlfriend were all smiles at Jordan Hudson's cheerleading competition. Grandpa, come see me and bring me flowers. And by the way, honest to God, I know these cheerleading competitions. I know these dance contests, and I know you dress a little bit extravagantly, but damn, that hair. Good for Belichick. Life's too short. Live your best life. Go on, Bill. All right. Hey, Sean, you were a prospect not too long ago. Bobby Petrino and Bill Belichick walk in to your high school. What's your question other than cash? Do you care about any of this side stuff? Do you even care that Belichick's got 6 rings? What do you care about as a prospect?
Yeah, as a prospect, I don't care. As a prospect, I want to go play for one of the best NFL coaches of all time. And I want to try to learn from a very historically great offensive coordinator. That's as a prospect. And I'm thinking, wow, maybe they'll unlock me. And then removed from the prospect, I look at what they've done to a historically great American institution at the University of North Carolina. And this year, optics couldn't have been much worse. And the upcoming year, optics still feel like they're going to be bad. But that's for me post-playing as a critic of the school. Prospect, though, I'm hoping it's going well. I'm hoping they're not in there selling me some BS like, oh, come on, it's not going to be like last year. But I'd have questions. I'd have some doubts. I really don't like that lady running around calling shots at her own whim. I think that's dangerous to a team. It's just supposed to be those that are truly locked in. It's the only way you get it. The only way you get wins and success as a college team or a pro team in football is to somehow trick these athletes into giving more effort than what they're paid for or what's expected out of them. It's the only way you win a Super Bowl is if you could trick these millionaires into believing that they should play harder than what they're worth. You have a distraction-filled campus, coach room, all this. Every time you're on Twitter, someone's clowning your team. How hard do I want to play here? But on paper, it should work. On paper, it should.
All right. Here's the deal. I don't give a shit about any of it. I never understood the whole idea of I want to play harder for a coach. I mean, I'm playing a game. I'm putting a uniform on. I'm playing my ass off. I actually gave this speech to Indiana basketball one time. I said, I don't understand you. I don't understand any of you guys. Maybe I'm just old. But I never understood. I want to play for this coach. And I pointed up all these banners that I was a part of, whether as a player or as assistant coach. And I'm like, now one player gave a rat's ass about playing for Bob Knight. We came to Indiana to play basketball. We love basketball. We're playing our ass off. And if the coach is there, great. If he's not, great. But I could give 2 shits. When we come back, Armando Salguero joins us. We got a lot to talk to. DK Metcalf suspended. We're going to go from frauds to least fraud. And, of course, is Tua done in Miami? We'll be right back. Armando next. Festivus for the rest of us. That's right. And those of you that don't know Seinfeld, I can't help you because it's classic. The airing of grievances. Hey, Armando, you got any NFL grievances you would like to share with us as it is Festivus?
Grievances. Let's see. Well, honestly, Dan, if I had one grievance, it would be that all the stars that I typically watch in January playoff football, except for one, are going to be missing from January playoff football this year. I'm really excited to watch Lamar Jackson in the playoffs this year. No, that's not happening. Okay, well, I'm really excited to see if Patrick Mahomes gets into the playoffs and does his magic and the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl again. No, that's not going to happen either. Okay, well, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield should be a lot of fun. He's always fun in the playoffs. Yeah, that probably isn't going to happen either. Well, but at least Phillip Rivers saved the season for the Colts, so that should be really exciting to watch in the playoffs. No, that ain't gonna happen either. Dude, all the guys that I want to see in the playoffs, save, maybe Josh Allen, are out of the playoffs or going to be out of the playoffs. That's my grievance.
I thought, you and I have talked about this. And being a Colts fan and all that, I thought this was a great year because of what you said. If you don't have to go through Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, you don't have to go through Patrick Mahomes. I mean, damn. Yeah, that's pretty good. I understand Drake May's really good. Josh Allen, this should be his year, that kind of thing. Herbert, but damn. I mean, if you don't have to go through those guys, 'tis the season. All right, what'd you think of the whole DK Metcalf thing?
How stupid you have to be. Look, first of all, I do believe that those two have history. 100% they have history. The DK Metcalf camp yesterday was leaking that DK Metcalf reported that guy as, harassing him when he was in Seattle last year. That's not something that you can leak and think, well, if it's not true, nobody's going to be able to confirm. That can be confirmed because he reported it supposedly to the Seahawks security. So that can be 100% confirmed. That's number one. Number two, when the guy whose name is Ryan Kennedy talked to reporters, he said that all that he said to DK Metcalf was he called him by his name. And don't ask me what DK stands for, but he called him by whatever DK stands for, and then said, and I know that that's his government name. That was his quote. And he doesn't like people calling him by that. How does someone who is a random fan who went to a random Detroit Lions game happen to know what DK Metcalf's quote unquote government name is unless he's done some research on DK Metcalf and has history of DK Metcalf? So that really is weird to me. And having said all that, the answer to someone calling you out if you are a $25-30 million a year wide receiver in the NFL and your team is locked in not only a playoff chase, but a Super Bowl chase, is not go over to the stands and manhandle the fan who is harassing you. That's not the answer. That is never the right call, because the fan will walk away to his Motor City job or whatever, and you get suspended from your $500,000 a game job, and it goes 2 times over. That's a bad thinking on DK Metcalf's part.
Do you think anything will be rescinded here? Will there be any kind of, appeal is happening? Do you think anything will be lessened?
I don't see that. And the reason I don't see that is the case that I just laid out for you in the whole look, I know him. He's bad. He's mean to me before.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that you walked over there, grabbed him by the shirt or whatever you grabbed him by, his blue hair or whatever, and you turned it into an issue. If you don't walk over there, it doesn't happen. So the underlying facts of the moment don't change regardless of whatever defense DK Metcalf puts before the NFL.
Armando, fraud to least fraud. I guess who's the best and who's a fraud? Jacksonville, the Chargers, or the Steelers?
Wow, that's great. And this is going to hurt my heart because of those three. I have to tell you that Pittsburgh is probably the most flawed and the biggest fraud. And having said that, they have maybe the best coach in the bunch. What whatever happened to those fired Tomlin chants?
Nah, they've gone away, haven't they?
Right?
They've gone away. Yeah, they've gone
Right?
away.
Exactly.
Yep.
So the Steelers, the most fraud. Jacksonville, second most, and then the least fraud of those three, I think, is the Chargers, simply because of the manner of football that they play. It's just, old time, kick your ass, and then maybe every once in a while, let our shooting forward, who doubles as a quarterback, throw, launch some arm cannons type stuff that just wows everybody in the stadium.
Yeah, you're right about that Fire Tomlin stuff. I hadn't heard that in a while. Funny how winning a few games gets it done. Is Tua done in Miami?
Yeah,
Is
pretty
he?
much. I mean,
Yeah.
So there's only one scenario. Is it scenario or scenario? I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
I'm from Gary, Indiana. It's scenario. Everything's a harder. Scenario sounds French to me.
Got it. I'm from Cuba, so I don't know.
You can go both.
Either
You can
way,
go both. Yeah.
The point being that there's only one situation in which Tua Tagovailoa can stay next year, and that is if Mike McDaniel goes, because that little join at the hip marriage, it's over. Once the head coach takes the step of firing basically his starting quarterback, and not just demoting him, removing him from the equation, because Tua was a healthy scratch as the emergency number 3 quarterback last Sunday, and telling the earth, this other guy that we drafted in the 7th round and hasn't played a down in the NFL, that guy gives us the best chance to win. You're telling everybody that you don't believe in your guy anymore. And Tua is one of those people that if you don't show him love, he's not going to love you back. That was the case with Brian Flores, and he kept it quiet. But you remember earlier, was it this year, where he called Flores a terrible human being because of the way that Flores treated him early on in his career? Tua is not one of those professional thinking, and that's where my guardrails are exclusively. He is, everything you do comes at me from a soul tie perspective. And if you break that soul tie, my soul is broken for you. Right. And so I don't see them being able to reconcile next spring or next training camp where Tua comes back if McDaniel is back. Having said that, McDaniel is doing a great job of getting himself fired here at the end of the season.
How so? How so?
I mean, so they laid an egg last Sunday. They laid an egg the previous Sunday. And there's 2 more eggs available for laying in the next 2 weeks. So if you lose 4 in a row at the end of a season, in a season where you lost, I believe, 6 out of 8 at the beginning of the season, you are authoring your own firing. You really are.
Lot made. Good for him. Great for him. Phillip Rivers, his kids, cool scene, is fun. Is Anthony Richardson done in Indy?
His contract is his savior.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't make a lot of money. And there's always the backup role where he can continue to learn and continue to be experienced and all of that. His window is open. If I were the Colts, if he's ready to play, and I know that this is not the narrative, if they are eliminated next week, play him in the
I agree.
In the regular season finale. What do you have to lose?
I agree.
I mean, Phil, thank you for your service, but the fact that we're eliminated means you're no longer, relevant or needed. And so if you could just hang on, get paid, and be a mentor to Richardson here at the end, that would be great. Because, Richardson, I think wasn't it the 2022 draft or 23?
I think this is his third year.
So he's got one more year.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with keeping him. Having said that, the Colts, it's pretty evident they're going to try to re-sign Daniel Jones and run it back with him. And the narrative will be, we were whatever they were, 6-2, and then 8. I think they were
8-2.
Yeah, 8-2 at one point. So, and then it's not his fault he broke his leg, and it's not his fault that he, tore his Achilles. We were doing good up until then. So that will be the obvious direction that they go. But I would keep Anthony Richardson just because, unless someone comes to them and says, we'll give you a 5th round pick for him, which no one's going to do.
I would keep him. If 5th round pick, hell, I would keep him. Who's the best team as we move to Christmas, Armando? Who's the best team in the NFL right now? Who you like best?
So it's between two teams right now. It's between the Seahawks and the Rams. I know that they lost the other day to the Seahawks, but I like the Rams more. And the reason I like the Rams more is I think they're a more complete team than the Seahawks. And the reason I think they're a more complete team is that their quarterback is better.
Is he the MVP?
100%.
Yeah.
The man's got 40 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He's the only quarterback whose touchdown number starts with a 4 right now. And it's not going down, it's going north. So he's the guy. And, who else are you going to – Myles Garrett, who's going to maybe break the sack record. He's not the MVP on a team that's going to, draft number 1, 2, or 3 next year. So I'm sorry, you were most valuable in losing. That doesn't work out that way.
It's funny. I'm looking it up right now as I'm talking to you because I told you when I had a Daniel Jones, Fernando Mendoza Heisman, it was worth $32,000 to me. But right now in the betting markets, I just found it. Matthew Stafford is minus 195, and the closest is Drake May. Those are the two front runners. Drake May's plus 180, and then Josh Allen is way back plus 2,500. So it's one of those two. Has Drake May surprised, or is this who Drake May is?
Okay, so I have people around the NFL who are telling me, we told you so on Drake May. Of course, they didn't draft Drake May because they couldn't get to him. Because the Patriots, although they dangled the number 3 overall pick that year, they had no intention of trading for it. The Giants offered a mint for that pick to pick Drake May, and the Patriots wisely held on to it. So the Patriots would tell you that they know. The Giants would tell you that they knew. There's a couple of other teams. Drake May is doing what everybody thought he would do. But he's doing it way earlier than everybody thought he'd do it. Because, you look at him last year and you look at him this year, it's like a different dude. And all I can tell you about that, Dan, is coaching matters. Mm-hmm. Coaching matters. Josh McDaniels has done a great job with him, and it's going to be I don't see how it gets worse. I think it gets better. And the reason I think it gets better is that team has cap space again next year. They're going to get better. Mike Vrabel isn't going to forget how to coach between now and then. That team has arrived, and they're not done arriving. They're still, it's like, that woman that goes on this long trip and she gets off the plane and goes to baggage. and there's one bag that comes off the conveyor belt, and another bag that comes off the conveyor belt, and another bag that comes off the conveyor belt. And her baggage handler goes, "That's it, right?" And she goes, "No, more bags coming off the conveyor belt." That's the New England Patriots in their talent adding situation next year.
I know that woman. Hey, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and I don't know how to. I used to know how to say it in Serbian, but I don't anymore. And Polish, I knew how to say it. Merry Christmas, my friend, and thanks for all your help. Really appreciate you.
My pleasure, Dan. All the best to you and yours, my friend.
There he goes, the great Armando Salguero. Follow him; he's the best NFL writer in the business, and we got him here at Outkick.com. We'll be right back. Dope me, baby. Woka dope me. Give it to me, baby. Trump is toast when the Epstein files get released. Hey, leave Bill Clinton alone. Man, the mere mention of Trump. Remember how the world called him a pedophile without ever having any evidence? You know, it went fascist, Nazi, racist, king, Hitler, whatever, to pedophile. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of photos of Bill Clinton perusing around naked in hot tubs with young girls, and it's leave Bill Clinton alone. Let me ask you a question. Why are we leaving Bill Clinton alone? Why does he get treated different than any of us would? Why does he get treated different than Donald Trump? I really don't have the answer. I honestly don't. I mean, if you had any integrity in the media, or you had any integrity lawmakers, I mean, what are you doing? You were yelling and screaming to the high heavens. Was that guy Booker? He's yelling and screaming. Was it Jeffries yelling and screaming? Everybody's yelling and screaming. Trump's a pedophile. Trump's this. Trump's that. Remember when somebody walked out, I think it was Trump, and went like this? They called him Hitler and a Nazi. What are you doing? I mean, the level of stupid on the left, the hypocrisy is unbelievable. Leave Bill Clinton alone. Why? Why? Next. Tell me. There it is, right there. The Biden Presidential Library. Yeah, that's about all he deserves. I mean, damn. This is pretty funny. I kind of like it. I've never understood these. They have these in Zionsville where I used to live, and they have one downtown Indy until it got blown up in the Black Lives Matter Idiots riot. But I don't understand, but hey, it is what it is. Next. Liberals, I hope Gavin Newsom becomes president. He'll save America. Look at California. Look at those gas prices. Look at the homelessness. How are you people this fooled? No, it's truly amazing. It is. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. But that's the American people. Love of party more than love of self. Hey, last thing. You know, many times at Christmas, we reflect back. We reflect back on the year. Are we happy with the year? Did we accomplish what we wanted to accomplish? All that while looking forward to the new year. I'm telling you, January 1st, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I do all that stuff. And frankly, I don't know whether last year was a good year. I got no idea. I think it was a great year. Everybody in my life is healthy. My mom seems to be very happy as she married a new man. We call him Daddy. Anyway, my family seems like they're having fun, and they still like me. I'm down here in Florida. My daughter, my stepdaughter, my wife, I'm surrounded by women. Holy cow. We play pickleball, we work out, we go to the beach. What's not to like? And I got a great group around me helping me. Actually, they're doing the work. I just speak on TV. So life is good. If life isn't good, do yourself a favor. Think positively. It'll get better. And get in the Bible. One of the smartest things I did this year is I went, downloaded the Bible app, and I'm doing the Bible recap. I'm days behind. I think I'm 60 days behind. It starts the first of the year. It gives you something every day, and I forget or I get on to something else. But I kind of dig it. I do. Do yourself a favor. Jump into the Bible if things aren't going well. If things are going well, still jump into the Bible. Either way, have a very, very Merry Christmas and an incredibly Happy New Year.